So the Canon M50 is honestly one of the best cameras out there on the market, but it's been about 2 years since it's been released at the filming of this video. Today I'm just gonna talk about what I'd want in a Canon M50 Mark II or just any kind of update. So at the time of recording this video, the Canon M50 would have been out for almost 2 years. Although I think it's one of the best cameras you can get if you're just getting into video or just getting into photos or you want to start a YouTube channel, I still have been compiling a list of things I'd want in a Canon M50 Mark II, kind of like how they released in the M6 Mark II recently. So in this video, I just want to talk about the things I want to see in a Canon M50 Mark II or an update or like a M60. You know, like 80D, 90, yeah, I don't know, something like that. If you really want to help this channel, make sure you hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. And if you like videos about cameras, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for whenever I post. So the first thing I want in a Canon M50 update would be a bigger battery. So right now it's using the LPE12 batteries. Like increase it to maybe like the M6's level. The M6 has the LPE17 or maybe even something bigger, or even make a battery grip for this camera. I don't know. I just want longer battery life so I don't have to have like 4, 5, 6 batteries with me, or even like completely eliminate the need for a battery grip. The next thing on my list is going to be a shutter release cable. So if you don't know what that is, let me go get something. So if you look at this thing right here, this is my dad's flashlight stand. But if you look at right here, this little piece right here, this part is a trigger. So what you can do is that you can have like a whole light setup, like 2 lights, and then have one of these triggers on top of your camera too. You basically use this piece. If you look here, there's like a button like you can press, and basically when you have that whole setup, you can use this trigger so that you can be right here and you press the button and you'll be able to take photos. So that's like perfect for like photo booths. That little controller will be your trigger and you'll be able to like have your own like photo booth business. But the Canon M50 does not have a shutter release cable or like port. So basically what it allows it to do is to release the shutter, I'm guessing. I don't know the entire specifics about it, but I just know that you can't connect a shutter release cable to this camera, and therefore you can't have that like photo booth type of thing where you have like a controller and you can like take photos from afar. So yeah, it'll be really nice to see that on the next camera. So the next thing I want to see in an update would be a dual card slot. So that's just something that I don't think will ever happen, a dual card slot on top like an entry-level camera like the M50. But if the M50 successor is like a prosumer type of camera, then it would totally make sense to put 2 card slots. And in addition to that, it'll make it a really great option for like weddings and any kind of like client work. You'll be able to use it for so many different things. So the next thing I'd really like is weatherproofing. So as you know, the M50 has no type of weatherproofing on it at all. You know, I've had this out when it's raining and I feel like it's damaged my camera just slightly. The hot shoe on top doesn't quite connect 100% of the time compared to my brother's M50 where the hot shoe on top pretty much works all the time. Mine is just a little damaged, and that might be because I had it out in a couple rainy situations. So yeah, some weatherproofing on an M50 would be really great. So the next thing on my list is better low light. So low light is kind of like a very important thing to have. You know, just improve the low light. Just make it a lot better. I don't need to explain this any further. I just want better low light, you know? Let's do it, Canon. So this next feature is mostly for the photography side, but it can, you know, bleed into like the videography. And that would be a faster EVF. So whenever you're putting your eye up to the EVF, it kind of has like maybe like a half a second to 1 second delay from when you put it up to your eye and when it switches to the EVF. It's just like a very, very small delay, and it kind of gets annoying after a while. But yeah, a faster EVF would be really great. Whoa, whoa, whoa! If only this had image stabilization. So what would be really cool on an updated Canon M50 would be IBIS. If you don't know what that is, that's in-body image stabilization. I think that's what it means. Hopefully that's what it means. But yeah, I just think that would be a really good feature to have. The M50 does have like this digital stabilization, which is good, but you know, the actual in-body stabilization would be better. Ooh, Oh, I didn't see you there. But if you're wondering what this is an auxiliary cable and it plugs into a headphone jack. Not many phones have this anymore. All joking aside, the Canon M50 would be a better camera if it had headphone jack, just to be able to listen to the audio that's coming into your camera as you record it. I think would just be a huge help, because the speakers on the M50 aren't the best. So yeah, headphone jack, gotta have them. And the last thing on my list would be to update the ports. So I'm specifically talking about the USB port that's on the camera, the micro USB. You know, just update it to like a USB-C type of port, because the micro USB, I don't know, after prolonged use, it slowly gets worse and worse. I've been using USB-C for like a lot of my devices, from my hard drive to my phone. So I think USB-C is just the next step up above micro USB, and plus you don't have that problem like sticking it in the wrong way and then you turn it around to put it the wrong way. It's like, you know, there's a word for it, like it's like it can go in both ways. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, USB-C, yeah. They should just update the ports. I kind of don't like the mini HDMI, but yeah, whatever. Now I'm gonna talk about some nice to haves. These are just the things that it'll be nice to have in the camera, but not necessarily will be like a selling point for me. All those things that I just mentioned will just be like things like, yeah, it just needs to have 4K at 24 frames, 30, 60 frames a second with no crop. That would be really, really great. Reason why it's in this category is because I just don't use 4K as often. Like, I've never found a need to use it, so that's why it's in the nice to have. 1080p at 120 frames. Now this one is kind of up there with the things it should have, but you know, I just don't use slow motion enough to warrant me like really needing it in the camera. I don't really use it often because I just don't find the need to use it. A higher megapixel count. So the Canon M50 is 24.1 megapixels. I don't understand why it's 0.1. Like, does that 0.1 make a difference? I don't know, I can't really tell. But it'd be really nice for it to be like 30 megapixels, you know, just like that little bump of like 5.9, wait, 5.9? Yeah, 5.9 megapixels. That'd be pretty cool. The more megapixels, the better. So I want to know what you guys think. What would you guys want in a Canon M50 Mark II, or like a successor to the Canon M50? Or would you just like leave it the way it is and prefer them not to release anything after the M50 because it's so great? So leave all your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read all of them and see what you guys think. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this, all about the Canon M50 and cameras. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next week's video, I'll see you guys later.